And it's knowing your runway. If you know you've got strong serviceability and you're getting to a point where you're happy with the residential portfolio, then you're going to have really strong full doc lending options for commercial. Still got plenty of income to be able to use to fund those properties. We're not looking at it just based on a lease doc type of lend where the leverage is going to be lower, around like 55, 60% LVR. We can potentially gear to, 70% plus for a commercial property using income from a business or from a role to really give the bank that strength that you can go up the deal curve on an LVR basis.
And for someone who, maybe doesn't have the capacity to do a full doc and they need to do a lease doc, we had a client do this recently. We went and bought them, I think, 3 residential assets or 2 residential assets and then a commercial asset. But the way that he was able to buy the commercial asset was he did a big refi. I think he had 600,000 or 700,000 of cash sitting there. It wasn't enough to get him into another good resi asset, but he used that 600,000 or 700,000 worth of cash as the deposit and costs on a commercial asset and didn't need to show any personal servicing for it. He just used the rental income from the commercial asset to service itself, essentially. But the only reason he was able to do that is because he had the cash for the deposit and costs, of which was equity, but he wasn't, borrowing from the bank.
Again, it comes down to harvesting that equity at the right time, right? If you've accumulated a great base, you're incubating or you're continuing to buy strategically, but you've got that serviceability runway, when can you harvest that equity to be able to pivot into commercial? Could be accessing equity based on a full doc serviceability assessment with the bank, via your residential properties, via low doc options, and via your commercials as well. Could be selling down some assets, and paying back some debt and ensuring that you don't have any cross securitization in your portfolio so you can keep all of that profit. I have a lot of people come to us and they're all crossed up in the back end, and what they don't know is that if they go to sell an asset, the bank may want them to pay back some other debt for other properties based on the LVR of that portfolio. So again, structure's key, and you could possibly sell a business as well. We're working with a lot of people that have a lot of businesses and they're very big businesses. And I guess their view is, in addition to the equity they've got in their residential properties, they're using the cash that they're generating from their business for deposits as well. But ultimately, they want to sell this business for a large amount and then put that money into commercial, because then that's that generational wealth assets that are just going to continue to give them income and be passed down throughout the family as well.